Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, do hit that subscribe button as well as the bell. So anytime any new content is uploaded, you will be the first to find out, especially if you hit that bell. But without further ado, you guys, let's just dig right into this video. All right, for those of you guys that have been keeping up with the messy Judge Joe Brown chronicles, we're gonna check out a short clip where Judge Joe Brown, he's being asked the latest of his opinions, covering Kamala Harris being endorsed by Megan Thee Stallion. He had some thoughts on that. But again, like I say, Judge Joe Brown, since his retirement, has been extremely outspoken. So we just been keeping up. But let's check out this video, you guys. Let's get right into it.
I'm happy to have you back, my man.
Hey, the judge is back in the house. One more time.
Yes, indeed. Had to bring you back, man. But I guess we could start with Kamala, man. How you feel about the rally she had in Atlanta, her bringing out Megan Thee Stallion?
Same thing happened with Taylor Swift. In other words, bring in some performer and free concert. You get a big crowd. It looks young because it is young. They don't have to pay. What are they playing now for one of these concerts? $100, $2,500 a hit. So you're giving somebody a freebie $1,000 ticket, and they come, and then you can claim credit for it as a political rally, and then they leave after 15 minutes, and it's a big charade.
I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna let the video play, but Judge Joe Brown, he's making it a Kamala thing because we already know he's not a fan of Kamala's. But I don't think it's just a Kamala thing. I think it's a political thing. I think it's a political charade. There have always been celebrities, influencers to endorse certain political candidates, where it does have a certain amount of influence, I guess, on maybe the undecided voter or even the younger voter, where if someone who they admire or they're a fan of says a few nice words or shows up in support of a certain candidate, maybe it might sway a vote. But I don't think that's just a Kamala thing. I think it's a political thing. But let's keep going.
And by the way, what does all of that have to do with being president of the United States of America? Don't you think we would get something where we would talk about policy and what we're going to do about cleaning Atlanta up, putting the people to work, and dealing with some of the problems they have down there? But no, you get a lot of twerking, and then we get that other kind of image. I mean, Megan Thee, Thee, and then you name yourself after a male horse. I don't get it, but anyway.
Now, I'm just saying this. I'm being real silly, y'all. But he didn't say Meg the Stallion, which he could have. He said Meg Thee Stallion, which is her correct name. But Judge Joe Brown might know a little bit more about Meg Thee Stallion than, he might be a bigger fan than what he's putting on. So let's keep going.
That's that kind of thing. And then they had a big rally when Air Force 2 landed, and you got Taylor Swift out there, and all of the people hollering to see Taylor Swift in a little AI editing, so it looks like you're listening to yelling for the person that is supposed to be sponsoring it rather than the entertainment. But that's the way they roll these days.
Yeah, I know that rally, it got a lot of backlash. A lot of people wasn't feeling, Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, that's the way to do it. It's like right now, you've got a thing where if you want Negroes to listen to you and be devoted to what they're listening to, have one of the Rainbow Bunch pick a Negro celebrity and speak through them, and then everybody will pay all of this rapt attention, and they will say, do, or believe whatever they're told. And the Democratic Party is good for that. They've been around a while, and they've had a lot of practice, and they know they're Negroes, so they do these kind of things. And some of the white folk that are in it.
Dang, y'all, did he say they know they Negroes? And again, this is my reaction to it. Now, I will say that historically, I shouldn't even say that because they say way back in the day, Black people, African Americans used to vote Republican. But I would say historically we vote Democratic. I know I always have. But, you know, it's a lot to that too. So let's keep going.
Tenants, they get a little at ease, ill at ease. But I find it strange, man. This woman has never won a primary, has not been in one this go around, hasn't even been in a convention, and we get told that 3,400 people somehow or another canvassed online. And now she's the nominee for one of the two major parties in the country, and nobody gets a say in it. Kind of a modern take on the old-time smoke-filled rooms. Except this time, you wonder what they were smoking. So here we go again. I think of that thing with Tupac. What was it? I'm in the dorms listening to Tupac and smoking a J, somebody said, and I inhaled, she said, and problem is when she was in the dorm at Howard, Tupac was all of 11 years old. So when Tupac had his first release, he was 21, 23 when he made the charts the first time. And guess what she was doing? She was an assistant prosecutor for Alameda County, California. So you want to get the image of a prosecutor being up in a dorm room when her primary emphasis was prosecuting simple possession charges and she's smoking a joint. That just like, okay, believe it if you will, but that's the kind of credibility we have. So, and then that laugh, man, that's just like psycho. It's like somebody.
Y'all, we already know that Judge Joe Brown is messy. So here he is. He's about to start talking about her laugh.
They got shot to death, and two other people got wounded. We'll do something. Like, is anybody else looking at this? Like, what do we have here? It's like, I know a friendly shrink, you know, he's a clinical psychologist. Would you like to hook up? You know, hey, what time is this? So we've got a thing here where I've been calling it this for a long time, the hyena. I call it the humping hyena. And there's a funny thing about hyenas is when all of the males get kicked off, they used to think that the senior female would change genders and become male and take over the role of being the alpha male for the pack of hyenas. Now, that's been sort of debunked, but it fits in with the agenda of the party in question. So, I don't know. It's kind of amusing. But I'm not going to laugh about it. Ha 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 ha. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of pandering, why do you think black people keep falling for the same Democrat tactics?
Because they know they're Negroes. They're the party that started the slave thing way back when, Civil War.
Okay, you guys, so we just checked out the clip. I wanted to just kind of share my thoughts, as I always do. I always kind of give my reaction through the video, and then afterwards I like to just kind of share my thoughts. If you guys have watched any of the previous Messy Brown Chronicles, keeping up with his comments, you guys know I do not agree with Judge Joe Brown on a lot of topics. However, I do think he makes a few good points. Some of the points that I think he's making is more so just because he's not a Kamala fan, and you know, maybe he's endorsing whoever. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know what Judge Joe Brown's you know, what his political stance is or whatever, or who he's gonna vote for or not. You know, I don't know. But I will say that yes, I do think that just in general, politicians have always been endorsed by celebrities. Celebrities have always you know, celebrities, performers, influencers, whatever, have always been attached to political parties, maybe asked to perform, where it's kind of like a I don't want to say it's a win-win, but usually politicians will go after people of influence because whatever their fan base is could potentially become votes, you know, on behalf of that party. Okay. So I get it. And, you know, I think Judge Joe Brown does make a good point. And like he was saying, I think Judge Joe Brown does make a good point in that he was saying, what does that really have to do with policies or legislation or, you know, like different performers performing or smiling, taking pictures or whatever. So I get it. My own personal thoughts on, you know, the elections is that I just, you know, I'm not trying to endorse one party over the other. All I'm saying is stay woke, people. Just try to stay woke. Whatever your political stance was before Kamala stepped up should still be your political stance now. That's just my own personal opinion. I feel like, you know, nothing has really, you know, changed in terms of however you felt about inflation, however you felt about the migrant situation, however you felt about Israel being funded to go to war with Gaza, Palestinian people, all that kind of stuff. However you felt prior to should still be your political stance now, and not necessarily wavering or changing because Kamala has stepped up, but I am not at all whatsoever endorsing Trump either. You know, so I just feel like just stay woke. If you were going to vote for Kamala or you were going to vote for Biden, that's great. If you were going to vote for Trump, that's great too. Do you, but just stay woke. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.